How's it going, everyone? Hope you're all doing really well. Thought I'd go over this article today, right when we need unity and calm and less divisiveness. What has our Premier Dan Andrews done? That's right, he's gone and done something about as divisive as possible. Not only Daniel Andrews' fault, it's actually the people in his party and others, but we'll just have a look now. Victorian Parliament to consider axing the Lord's Prayer. Well, if that isn't just a massive attack on Christianity in this country, I don't know what is. Well done for considering such a stupid thing. Daniel Andrews says a multi-faith moment at the beginning of Parliamentary Day may offer a better reflection of modern, multicultural Victoria than the Lord's Prayer, backing a move by his Special Minister of State to consider scrapping the century-old tradition or add prayers from other faiths alongside it. What a big kick in the face to the people who founded this country and the fact that Australia was founded as a Christian country for British people. Now that we've brought all these people in against the will of the population, we've never been given a say on it, this idiot wants to go and have them invade our parliament with their traditions as well. Did they ask the people of Australia? No, of course they didn't ask the people of Australia. They just think that there's now votes in it because of said mass migration. Anyway, it continues. Special Minister of State Gavin Jennings today referred the matter to an upper house committee of review following calls from Reason Party leader Fiona Patten and the Greens to end a tradition coalition MPs have defended as an important part of our Judeo-Christian heritage and the Westminster system. So of course it's come from the far left communist Greens. Never heard of this Reason Party leader Fiona Patten before, but she certainly fits a pattern of leftist behaviour in that they call themselves one thing, aka the Reason Party, and then they go and do things which are completely unreasonable. Kind of reminds me of the Anti-Defamation Commission here in Melbourne, who all they ever do is defame people trying to get into the country. At least the coalition have defended it. This is what they do when they're in opposition. They really are nothing more than controlled opposition. So they are there to oppose when they're in opposition, and they are there to implement leftist policies when they're in government. A little bit of a mistake there, if you ask me. Something I don't quite agree with. And if you can't see it, well, you just should have gone to Specsavers. Premier Dickies has to have his say, of course. Daniel Andrews said there's a proposal to have a look at whether a number of different prayers from different faith traditions might be a more appropriate way to begin the Parliamentary Day. If that was something that had bipartisan support or support across the political divide, then we'd be happy to look at it, but it should be done in a respectful way. In other words, if there's votes in it, I'm going to do it. That's what Daniel Andrews and the Labor Party are all about. Get as many votes as you can and stuff what the people think about it. Not exactly sure how you can remove a centuries-old tradition in a respectful way, or in a way that's respectful towards the Christians who founded the country and the Christians who are here now. I don't know how you can do that in a respectful manner, but good on Dickie's Daniel Andrews for trying to seem reasonable whilst doing something as divisive as this. He continues, I think that some traditions are worth valuing. At the same time though, we do live in a multi-faith community. If it were a multi-faith moment at the beginning of the Parliamentary Day, perhaps that would be more reflective of what modern Victoria looks like. The thing here is, he's not wrong. We do now live in what would be deemed as a multi-faith community. The fact that it was not meant to be a multi-faith community to begin with is obviously lost on this member of the ruling class known as Daniel Andrews. He really has highlighted the fact that we are now living in a powder keg and we're dividing into ethnic and religious tribes. I don't see this as a good thing. He obviously sees it a great thing, and it's so good that he's considering removing the Lord's Prayer or taking additional prayers on top of it to reflect the fact that Australia is no longer an overwhelmingly white Christian country as it was intended to be. And if you don't think it was intended to be that, please go and look at the Constitution, specifically the preamble and section 119 of it. So Miss Patten from the so-called Reason Party obviously has to have her say in it. She says, it's high time we found an alternative, such as moving the acknowledgement of country to the opening of Parliament every day, Miss Patten said. There we have the acknowledgement of country ceremony. That's an Aboriginal ceremony. I disagree with it. She obviously likes it. Victoria is built on diversity and multiculturalism. This is a secular society, and most religious people I speak to are surprised to find out this is how we start every day here. Removing the Lord's Prayer is a nod to how diverse the Victorian Parliament is. Maybe they're surprised because they can't believe that Parliament actually respects our Christian traditions. I wonder if she's thought of that. People are surprised that we actually respect it. Yes, I'm surprised that we still respect it as well. I'm surprised this hasn't come earlier, but still is extremely divisive. Look at her saying, oh, it's so great that we live in a diverse, multicultural society. Saying that it's wonderful that we're now all divided into ethnic and religious tribes. Isn't that fantastic, seeing as diversity only means less white people and less Christians, obviously. As we said, the Liberal Party are wonderful as controlled opposition, and this is what they've had to say. Liberal Party frontbencher David Davis, wonderful name there, said he supported the Lord's Prayer, remaining part of the parliamentary standing orders. It's a very important part of our history. It's a very important reflection of the Judeo-Christian tradition that's very much part of our history and part of our Westminster parliamentary tradition too. Wonderful job there of defending our traditions while you're in opposition, but obviously if they were ever in Parliament, then they would be doing whatever they could for votes as well, and if they thought there were votes in it, they'd do it. The Liberals are fantastic at defending our nation and country while they actually have no power to do anything about it, but then once they get into power, suddenly they just want to act for everyone who happens to be here rather than Australians. Victoria has the highest rate of affiliation with a religion other than Christianity, according to 2016 census data, but Christianity is the most common religion in the state, while 32.1% of Victorians have no religious affiliation. If that doesn't clearly show you what's wrong with Victoria right now, and why we are so far to the left, and why we need to oppose multiculturalism and mass immigration, I don't know what will. Victoria is arguably the most left-wing state in Australia. It also happens to be the one that is the most diverse. Take of that what you will. Corrections Minister Ben Carroll said that as a Catholic he had no problem with the Lord's Prayer, but was also open to including prayers from other faiths. Consumer Affairs Minister Marlene Carews, a Maronite Catholic, said she also supported the Lord's Prayer, but was open to introducing additional prayers from other traditions. Doesn't that sort of lend weight to the argument that Catholics aren't actually Christians? If they were really Christians, they would be fully opposed to any additional prayers and even considering replacing the Lord's Prayer in our Parliament. Christians are supposed to believe in Jesus Christ and that Jesus Christ is the truth and that the truth is more important than anything. And if the truth is more important than anything, then that means Christianity is more important than anything. And if Christianity is more important than anything, then there should be no other prayers in Parliament. These people are obviously not actually Christians, despite the fact that they say they are. We have one of the most diverse parliaments, and it's something that I'm extremely proud of. And if we need to share others' prayers and recognise other religions or other traditions, I'm more than happy to consider that, Ms. Carews said. In other words, they will do anything for your vote, even if it means selling out the Australian Christian community. Hope you enjoyed the video. Share the truth around. Stay happy, stay true, do not get down, stay strong in these tough times now, but we will get through them together, and I'll see ya when I see ya.